Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you all so much for being here. And just think about it. You could have been any place else in the world besides coming to Royal Sussex. And you know what? You probably should have. But you missed your opportunity. Now you're stuck. Now you're here. Nobody's going anywhere. But thank you all so much for being here. And as always, thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, just putting the finishing touches on today's Royal Sussex. Let me see, what was I trying to do with that? Okay, that. Now, let me take a peek and see who's here. Um, hmm. Let me see who was here first. Oh, Lorna Williams, thank you so much for being here first. Is that right? Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. But still true. Thank you so much for being here. And hello to Lydia Washington and Ernie Cool. And let's see who else is here. Uh, B. Martin, thank you. Beverly McCaskill. Okay, Joy Amore. And one more time, I want to. Oh, Cratchin Chicken Hidden Egg. Thank you, Bunny Rose. One more time, if I can please ask you all to abandon the Patreon, because in the very excuse me, in the very near future, I'm going to close down that Patreon account because it's no activity going on there, and it's unfair that people donate on the Patreon and there's no extra anything. And the whole point of the Patreon is that you can give like extra material, extra access, special videos, and it's another way to promote your channel. But it's also another way to do a lot of work, and it would really take away from the YouTube channel, which is why I haven't bothered yet. And I actually, I don't want to shortchange. But you know what? I have to say, thank you to everyone who has been using the Patreon. And there's been like the same, what, 3 or 4 videos that's been there for almost 3 years. And nobody's complained except for one person who assured me they thought it would be more to it. And there wasn't. So, um, yeah, and nothing's changed with that. So, I would recommend moving over to the YouTube with a membership, or you can just do something individually on your own once a month if you choose. Either way, the support is definitely appreciated. Um, hmm. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. You know what? Just last minute, I think I'm gonna share this photo with you guys that it'll be like probably one of the last photos that I show. But it's a photo of Meghan that I've never seen before. Very old school, super, super cute. And I'm going to share it with you. I just found it myself for the first time this week. So let me set that up. And then that'll be a great way to end tonight. And tomorrow is Christmas Eve. I got to put together something for Christmas Eve. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right, so that is good. Let me get my slides up for tonight, and then we can proceed. Okay. All I want for Christmas is some more teeth. I can't even say front, just some more teeth. Oh, man. I remember that big, pretty smile I had all those years, and well, now I got a, how do I put it? Now I'm doing an imitation of a jack o' lantern. Uh-oh. What happened here? Uh-oh. Is this thing frozen? Oh no. Okay, something happened. That did not work. Oh boy. I hope you guys can still hear me. I hope you can still hear me. Google Documents did not respond. What the what? This is a first. Okay, let me try this. I'm going to open up another tab because something is just froze. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Something just froze. And I trust you all can hear me, but something just froze. So I'm going to open up a screen and close down this other one. Okay. I hope this is working. Okay, I'm back. The other screen just froze for whatever reason. And that was when I tried to open up my slides. But let me try it again. Phew, that was scary. That was scary. All right, it seems like we're on track. Wow. Wow, that was alarming. But okay, we're on track. The other one just froze for no reason. It wasn't moving. But we're good now, so no worries. No worries. So whoever's at Kensington Palace trying to tinker with the system, it's not working. Okay. Uh, mm, mm-mm. Okay. All right. Got it. Got it. Got it. No worries. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Here goes. Booyah! Ta-da! Okay. Everything is fine now. So Merry Christmas, everyone. Feliz Navidad. Happy holidays. Let's see. Kwanzaa is next week. Yeah. So, yeah, Kwanzaa is. All right. So, happy holidays, one and all. Okay. And we're good. So, oh, you know what? That's what's missing. That is what's missing. I didn't put the. I knew it was supposed to be something else there. The thumbnail is not there. I knew it was something missing. The thumbnail is not there. So let me rectify this, and I'll be with you directly. Let me pull the slide up again. My thumbnail's not there. I knew it was something missing. Okay. So try that one more time. Uh, Martine, thank you so much for being here. Hey to you too. Thank you. Oh, Susie Q's here? Very cool. Shelly L says, hi, Baron. Hello, squaddies. I hope you're all having a wonderful holiday, sending love and light to all. Thank you to you all. Thank you so much for that, Shelly L. Thank you. And thank you for the super sticker. Now, there we go. That's more like it. That's what I was trying to do. I knew there was something missing, and I found it. Once it was lost, and now it's found. Where have I heard that before? Okay. So, Meghan, I'm sorry, Harry and Meghan's Christmas gift, Kate Middleton's new PR stunt. Why do I use that tone when I mention Kate Middleton? Her new PR stunt. King's Christmas speech. Okay, I did not hyphenate that. Willy, speech Willy. Okay, I'll just go with it. King's Christmas speech Willy. That sounds strange, doesn't it? King's Christmas speech, Willy. Doesn't that sound weird? Yeah. And Charlie's hands plus more royal news. Speech, Willy. That sounds like somebody who gets excited every time they speak. Oh, get away from me. I can see you have a speech, Willy. Yeah, I better change that. I'll change that later. Speech, Willy. Mm-mm-mm. I tell you, there's always something a little off, but you know what? If I got everything right all the time, you would get confused and think you're on the wrong channel. So sometimes everything is fine, but I just have to throw a little something in there just to avoid confusion. Do you get me? You get me. You get me. Hello, Queen Bee. All right. And then there's the other one. So you got this. There's something about the rain and the snow that the Sussexes always look amazing. Rositas, if you say so. I didn't say it, you did. Well, I guess I did kind of say it, but yeah, that was weird. Speech, Willy. Okay, so you guys remember this place, Trevi, right? Well, what a surprise. Without announcement, or should I say, without any, because of course, there are no leaks in Montecito, so nobody saw this coming. There are no leaks in Montecito. The Trevi Cafe, that's the place where Meghan went to go and visit while she was in Dusseldorf. Anytime the Sussexes are out and about, whenever they're outside, they always try to find something, especially Meghan. That's Meghan's thing. She always tries to find something that involves women's empowerment that is, children, families, etc. Oh, Black Anonymous. I haven't been in a live video of yours in some time. Happy to see you and hope you're having a great holiday season. Am I ever? I promise you I got the Christmas spirit. Yeah, I do. I just I don't know what it is about this Christmas, but it has been great. And the past few Christmases, I had almost given up on Christmas, but at the last minute I get that surge of excitement. I got to put up the tree. I got to put the lights out and then of course shopping and everything. So much fun. And so right here, there was an article in the NRZ, and it says Duchess Meghan surprises Dusseldorf residents with gift. During the visit to Dusseldorf, the Duchess stopped by a special, is it Daikani Cafe? At the time, by the way, this is translated, so some of it may not be grammatically correct. At the time, she made a promise there around 3 months ago during the Invictus Games. Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, visited the Trevi Cafe of the Diakoni Dusseldorf. She has now donated 4,600 euros to the facility in Oberbilk through the Archwell Foundation, which she and her husband founded. She also gave several boxes of cosmetic products to the girls and women who visit the cafe. They had asked for the cosmetics from the Duchess during her visit. Safe contact point for young women. So if you didn't know about this place, it is so cool. Check it out. So the Trevi Cafe offers girls and young women in uncertain life situations, including those who have run away from their parents' home, a safe place to go. Without having to meet any conditions, visitors can provide themselves with some food, clothing, and a postal address. Very important. When you have to conduct business, you need a postal address, right? And you need someplace safe as a postal address. So that is one of those services that's available that you don't really think about, but it is needed. So let me see here. Where did I leave off? Uh, doing okay. Oh yeah, postal address. During opening hours, they can accept advice on topics relating to their living situation, matters relating to the authorities, parents' addiction, their lifestyle, school, and training. Accompaniment to various appointments is also possible. Street workers are also deployed for the Trevi Cafe. Let me see. Maria Pizzato, manager of the Trevi Cafe, explains why the young women are very happy about the cosmetic donations. For many of our visitors, mascara or lipstick are hardly affordable luxury products. She reports beautifying yourself also means doing something good for yourself. And the women who visit us and have often experienced bad things can really happen. Can really use this, have experienced bad things, can really use this. Sorry about that. So, Marco wrote a letter. Oh, let's move on here. Let's move on. There we go. Marco wrote a letter to the cafe. The donation also included a letter from the Duchess. In it, she writes that she really enjoyed her visit to the Trevi Cafe. I am firmly convinced that the work of the Trevi Cafe is is a necessity for women and girls at risk in Dusseldorf. The comfort, friendship, protection, and advice you provide in the stark contrast to the harshness of their normal everyday lives. Thank you for your commitment to improving their lives. And Meghan Markle, said Meghan Markle, this donation came about through a partnership with the English charity SmartWorks. Ooh, SmartWorks is involved. That's a good thing. SmartWorks has had a lot of experience in helping women transition from unemployment to the workforce. So that is very, very cool. Lady T, thank you for the super chat. Let me see. You use that voice with Kate because her stunts are getting old. Baron, mods, and squatties, wishing you all a very blessed and Merry Christmas. Yeah, well, Lady T, I am trying to rise to the disdain of some of those royal reporters. As you know, I kind of want to bring a little balance to the universe. And since they always have that tone when they talk about Meghan, I feel that I should bring a little balance by having that tone when I talk about mumbles. So I think it's only fair. It helps to keep the universe in harmony. So thank you for noticing. And again, thank you for the super chat. So yeah, but I'll talk some more about Kate later. I'll talk about her later. I'm going to move on for now, but don't worry. I should imagine I have a bit to say about Kate. I'll have a bit to say about her. Believe me. I love that little kid right there with the blue. She has that kind of growling face, kind of like the lady from the islands, right? And I love Prince Harry, and he's writing about it right now. It's all coming out in his book. Yes. Oh man, where is the lady from the islands? You know, I never get tired of her.
And I love Prince Harry, and Prince Harry should be king. He should be king. Prince Harry, not William. William and all of them in there, Camilla is the wicked witch of the devil himself, because she is part of why Princess Diana is not here. I do not like them. I am from the islands, and we don't need them in the Caribbean. Get lost. Demolish the monarchy. This is 2023, okay? And I will support Harry 100%. I do feel for him. Yes, I do. And everything in the book is the truth. And Charles is the monster, not Harry. Harry is no monster, not Meghan. He's bringing the story out right now. They are evil people. They are not nice. Behind the wall, we all are one human being, and behind that wall there are no difference with me and you and any other Brits. Give the people back the money. They are just welfare recipients living off the taxpayers of the British people. And the British people are stupid supporting that nonsense monarchy. It is nothing. It's just a title. It means nothing, a title. I'm angry at them.
See there? So that kid must have seen the lady from the islands before, because even that kid, probably someone asked about the royal family, and that little kid was like, ah. Let's see. Is it Sherry Melicon? Thank you so much for the super chat. I just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for that. Wow, you know what? I just realized it is Christmas Eve for some people right now, right? We still have Christmas Eve hours away, but some of y'all are already enjoying Christmas Eve. Just realize that. Okay, and give the people back their money. So even Hello Magazine picked up the story. Meghan Markle's generous pre-Christmas gift revealed following secret holiday. The Duchess of Sussex honored a pledge she made during the Invictus Games. Meghan Markle has honored a pledge she made during the Invictus Games as the Duchess of Sussex made a generous donation of £4,600 to the Trevi Cafe, also known as the Daikani Dusseldorf, alongside a donation of several boxes. Yeah, that didn't translate well. Several boxes of cosmetic products. The mother of two visited the facility, which helped girls and young women who find themselves in uncertain life situations. Back in September, when she was in Germany with her husband, Prince Harry, for the Invictus Games, local news publication NRZ reported that during her trip in September, staff and women visiting the cafe asked for the cosmetics. Isn't that something? Out of all the things they could have asked for, and you know, that really says something, because there are just certain things that are very important to women. And they said, like, one of the things that no matter what the economy is doing, cosmetics are always important. You still want to look your best. And I believe it was that rivalry between Elizabeth Arden and Helen, what is her name? Rubinstein? Helena Rubinstein. They had this huge rivalry back in the day. And I believe it was Elizabeth Arden who said that, you know, she got into the cosmetics business. She realized that even though there's a depression going on, women still want to look their best. So whatever little money they have, they are going to buy their cosmetics. So that was very interesting. That was the first I ever heard of such a thing. But and I guess it's still true today. Even though some of these women are homeless or living from pillar to post or sleeping on someone's sofa, couch surfing as they call it, they still want to look their best. And so I guess it really should be no surprise that they asked Meghan for that. And that was very nice. And I wonder how many other people are going to be motivated to send makeup and other products to the women at the shelter. So yeah, this Trevi Cafe is a place where you can nourish yourself. They have hygiene products and beauty supplies. And some people really just need to take a hot bath and have some food, and then they move on. They can just imagine if you're struggling with domestic violence, or if there's violence in your home and you need a place to get away for a couple of days, but the one thing you didn't have access to was a place to shower. So that's a really good thing. I like the idea of it. Speaking of which, let me see how we're doing with the donations before I forget about this. Let me see how we're doing with the donations um, hmm, for that legal fund for the what do you call it? For the byline, because ever since I posted that link, I think some of you all have really stepped up. Let me see. So right now, wow, 11,000 pounds, 11,088 pounds. 11,088 pounds. And let me see where we started off. Let me take a look. And well, not we started off, where it was when the Sussex squad really took notice of it. Let me see. Oh. I know how I need to do that. I need to go back, and I'm talking myself through this. I need to go back and find the slide from the 21st, I think. I think it was on the slide from the 21st. And that should have the story there. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so that is the 22nd, 21st. Let me check it out. So they have 11,088 pounds, right? And yeah, I would have had the slide ready, but I didn't really think about it till just now. Okay, that's that sometimers. Sometimes I remember, and sometimes I don't. Sometimers. So yesterday was 22nd. Maybe it was the 20th. Maybe it was the 20th. Let's go for the 20th. I think it was the 20th. And from the 20th, nope. Okay, definitely not the 20th. Then it was the 21st. It's the 21st. Okay, never mind. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Just saw it. Okay, so there was 225 pledges, and it was 8,125 pounds, right? Fast forward to what it is today, and it's 11,088 pounds, and there's 310 pledges. So out of sight. I don't care what anybody says. That was you guys. That was you all responding to the link. And thank you so much for that. Excellent. You all should be very proud of yourselves. And let's see. JAK. Yeah, JAK just sent a Cash App. I don't want to say the name because I don't think that's what you use online, but thank you so much for the Cash App, and thank you for being here on Royal Sussex. Happy holidays. Okay, so that's it. You guys are rocking and a rolling. Very cool. Wow, somebody left £100 pledge. 25 pounds. Ooh, okay. This is cool. So, again, if you are able to make a donation, as I say, they are doing the Lord's work. There is a link in the community tab. Just scroll back a couple of postings and you will find that photo, crowd justice. And so Byline investigates, Byline Times, they're asking for whatever amount you can pledge so that they can defend themselves in the unlikely event that Dan Wooten or his kind is feeling litigious and try to take them to court because they are really, really shaking up the system. So, if you can, let me see. I will show you the pledge from Royal Sussex. There we go. That is the Royal Sussex pledge of 25 pounds. So again, it doesn't have to be that amount, whatever amount you can afford. But I just could not do something because getting rid of that monster from television and exposing that truth, especially the part about Christian Jones. And one of the reasons why Harry has been under so much pressure is because he refused to drop that claim that he put in about, Christian Jones allegedly leaking information. This has been reinforced in Omid Scobie's book. And so, yeah, a lot of the heat that Harry is taking right now is because of the leaks from Kensington Palace. So, because I believe in Harry and I believe in Meghan, I felt like I just had to do something. So, if you can't do anything else, please forward the link. You can forward the link to anyone and just say, hey, can you drop 5 pounds on this? Can you drop $5 on this? And collectively, it will make a huge difference. Let's see. Let's see here. Baron Winsome is in the UK and wanted to do a super chat. She does not have the $sign. Any suggestions? No, I don't know. I don't know how to sort that out from the other end. So, yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, thanks. Excuse me. Thanks for thinking about me anyway, and just make sure you like and share the channel if you can, or better yet, if you like, you could just send it to the Byline Times. Yeah, send it to the Byline Times, and you can, yeah, and make sure they know you're Sussex Squad. That would be really cool. But thank you so much. Okay. Continuing. Let me get back over here because I kind of got off track. But yeah, so Hello Magazine, and I'm pretty sure by tomorrow there will be more media outlets that are going to pick up the story. And I really, really want these Sussexes to close out the year on the most positive note possible. Yeah, in the year. Oh, by the way, thank you, Lydia, for the super chat. I want them to be able to end 2023 in a very positive light. So every bit helps. The donation was made through the Archwell Foundation, and Meghan also wrote a letter alongside her donation. I am firmly convinced that the work of the Trevi Cafe, we saw this already, is a necessity for women and girls at risk in Dusseldorf. It read, the comfort, friendship, protection, and advice you provide in stark contrast to the harshness of their normal everyday lives. Thank you for your commitment to improving their lives. Signed, the Duchess of Sussex. During her visit spot struck up the business help prepare meals, reportedly chopped vegetables, and she spoke with people. Isn't that something? Isn't that just so Megan? Megan got stuck with the helping with stuck in with helping those visiting. And could you imagine that? You go to the Trevi Cafe, maybe you've been there before, or maybe you haven't been there before. And next thing you know, chomp, chomp, chomp. There's Megan cutting through some vegetables. That had to have been very, very surreal to see, like, the most famous royal in the world helping to prepare a meal. How amazing must that have been? I love it. Now, here are the photos from that occasion. And I have to remind you guys, especially you derangers that are hate watching right now, I have to remind you that Meghan did not take a camera crew, not like Kate, who had her own videographer and photographers go to that baby bank. Yeah, not like Kate. And also, unlike Kate, Meghan followed through and kept in touch and even made a donation, right? And has brought so much positive attention. And I do remember there was a few of us that actually made a donation. Because you know me, anytime the Sussexes go somewhere, I love to try to make sure I can do some kind of donation. I don't care how thinly I'm stretched. I got to do some kind of donation. And the best part is if I can put it in the name of the Sussexes. That way they will know that the Sussex squad is backing everything that Harry and Meghan is doing. So I always make sure that if there is a comment available, that I will make sure that they know that this is coming from people who love and support Harry and Meghan. You dig? You get me? Let me see. Lacey D, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. My voice is really weird right now. You know what? I don't have my humidifier on. I just realized I do not have it on. I need to refill it. I have to dump it and refill it because you know that stagnant water is not good. So that will be my project for later is to refill that humidifier. I knew something was weird. But okay, so that is Meghan there. And that is like the wall. That is the wall. And I love this photo. Look at that. It looks like they're playing kitchen. They're playing like moms in the kitchen. Can you wait? This is so cute. This is so cute. Every time I see this, I just adore it. So she wants to go and play with Auntie Meghan, and she brings over her little pot with her little cheese inside. Who knows what she was cooking? But maybe she was making fondue or something. But she brings Meghan her little pot, and I mean, how fun is that? How fun is that? That you go to the Trevi Cafe, and next thing you know, your little girl is helping to cook imaginary dinner. I love that. Maria, Fabian, thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you too. I love that. I love that. Having their little imaginary dinner. That is cute. Adorable. And there's the kid there again. This time nobody's talking about the royal family, so the kid's not doing that. You know, because when they mention the royal family, I'm pretty sure that triggers a lot of people. And next thing you know, you get the where is it? Where is it? There you go. You get that. But yeah, that is adorable. Yes, Isn't it? That is an adorable picture. I love that. Let me see. I think the donation was made the past couple days. I don't believe there was a donation at the time. At the time, I think she just, but don't quote me on that because I don't recall. But and to make the donation, it was kind of a weird website, and someone told me that the banking for Germany that is kind of different in some way, and I don't remember what it was, but I had to dig through their website to find a way to do a one-time donation for them. But I'm not even sure that the thing with Harry and Meghan where I said, you know, that this is dedicated to them or whatever. I'm not even sure that that went through, but I tried to find a place to do it. But because otherwise, I know I wanted to share the link, but um, the way the website was, you would still have to dig through to find it. So, but eventually, with persistence, I did, and I think a couple of other people also was able to find it. So long as they know that, contrary to the nastiness of um, the Royal Rota and the rest of those monsters, that wherever Harry and Meghan goes, people definitely have a very positive impact, and that's what the Sussex Squad does. So here, here. All right. If you're interested in the outfit, while in Germany, Meghan paid a visit to the Trevi Cafe in Dusseldorf, a refuge for young women and girls in need. She wore the totem gray cable pullover and the pleated high waist trousers in gray, no longer available. I went on that totem website. You deserve to take a little peek at that website. When you see some of the stuff that they have, you're just going to go, that is so Meghan. You could see why Meghan shops there. It must also have sustainability too, I would imagine, because that is also so Meghan. But when you see the clothes, you're gonna just say, that is very, very Meghan. I'm gonna take a look right now. Um, I mean, everything seems to have that certain kind of that certain structure to it. You know what I mean? So yeah, when you get a chance to go over to their website and take a look, they have some really cool stuff. You won't be disappointed. I wonder if you got to be skinny to wear that though. Oh, I think I see that same. Yeah, the ribbed high neck jumper. Oh my God, $690. But yeah, I see the same one in white. But yeah, you are going to be amazed when you see what they have over there. They have some really, really cool stuff. Okay. KDV, Merry Christmas, Baron, and to all the squaddies uh, and our super squaddies. Well, thank you so much, KDV. And thank you for being a member. Yes, thank you for being a member. And thank you for the super chat. Very, very cool. Thank you. Let's see. Meghan is a style trendsetter. Absolutely. Meghan is the moment. Hey, Anastasia. The haters are unbelievably jealous and mad. It's a shame that most of them are women who are old enough to be grandmothers. Oh, Anastasia. Let me just take a pause here. That is what bothers me so much, is that I think of the women that are behind a lot of the hateful stuff, and it just I'm amazed by it because these are just typical people from the community. These are not like trained assassins, although if they were, I would can understand a lot better why they're so evil. But these are just grandmas. These are older women. A lot of them are feeding into the daily dose of paranoia and lies and gaslighting, and they believe some of this stuff, and then others are just so malicious they just make up stuff. Yeah, so that never not surprises me. I'm not saying that I wouldn't that don't believe it. I'm just saying that that never does not surprise me, because it just I picture these women interacting with their grandkids, right? I picture these women being a chaperone on a school trip or something like that, or sitting in a church, if you will. And then every morning when they wake up, they scour the internet looking for someone to hate. That is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. But that is what it is. That is exactly what it is. And there is proof and there's evidence of exactly that. Not just from Christopher Bosie, but that one woman that her son, after she unalived herself, her son went through the old town where he grew up and found out that people had exposed her as being an online bully that was going after Madeleine McCain's family. Every day she's accusing the McCains of the worst possible crime against humanity, and that is, their own child. And nobody knew until eventually they were able to trace back to her, and they ran an article in one of the papers and exposed her, and her cover was blown. But while she was able to quietly hate for the sake of hating, it did not matter. I pray that anybody who is that hateful will find peace. I do hope that I hope they find the love that they're missing, the peace that they need. I hope they find those things. It's one thing to have sarcasm. It's another thing to stand up for people, but to just invent things, and to create these photos that are so ghoulish and monstrous. That's what they do every day. Someone's grandma. But yeah, thank you, Anastasia. Let me see. Ernie Cool, thank you for the super sticker. That is very cool. Thank you very much. And also, thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, so let's move on. Lauren Brown says, some women like to act like they are always, I'm so high and mighty, especially the church ones. They'll be the very people dismissing your pain and acting like it's your fault for not being okay with them. Yeah, it's it's not much difference. There's very little daylight between these hateful grandmas and those tabloid paparazzi people. There's very little daylight. They both operate and function with hate for the sake of hating. Yeah, that's what they do. That is how they function. Now, let me go and drag Kate. Now it's time to drag Kate, now that I got all that out. Okay, 4 years after leaving, the Sussexes say everything is rosy across the pond. But as figures show, Archwell Foundation is low on donation. Critics beg to differ. This is nothing. You all know that it means absolutely nothing, but they want to try to sum up the year as a big failure. Nothing could be further from the truth. Spare the Invictus Games, and also, as you can see, we're ending the year with record sales for the Clever Blend, right? And of course, I'm not going to call it a comeback, but the very public facing Harry and Meghan has been a huge success. Going to Beyonce's concert and being more visible. Meghan, in the Hudson Yard event they had, where she was like, and even moderating, or not moderating, but hosting Misa and Harriman for the viewing of the after. Very, very successful year. They have both solidified their ability to maintain interest. So much so that you have those two misfits across the ocean that the only way they can get people to look at them is to pretend to be Harry and Meghan. Let's talk about Meghan's fashion. Now, that right there could be a little dodgy because we don't want to just reduce a woman to her fashion appeal, her style appeal. But that being said, it is incredible that Meghan can wear the simplest pieces and they will write about her for days, which means that if there was a future of endorsements, we know that it would be very lucrative. And I don't care how much they try to hate in the tabloid media, it will not affect their ability to do business. It's just not going to happen. The Invictus Games, it was doing just fine, but all of a sudden, it became a whole nother thing when Meghan showed up. And of course, Meghan's ability to stay in contact with people. She's a letter writer. She's a letter writer. And so Harry and Meghan has this ability, together or separate, they have this ability to make people feel like they're the only person in the room. They're the only people that matter. They are a team, a power couple. So it is only going to improve. Meghan won her Ms. Award. I think it was the 50th annual Ms. Award, and rightly so. It's been a good year. It's been a very good year. And whatever these tabloids are trying to sell, it's easy for clickbait for them to do this, but it's just not so. It is just not so. And we all know better. So, yes, Caroline, it is getting very old. There's nothing we can do about it, but it is getting very old. It's so annoying and it's so bothersome. But um, when we can't just keep saying, "Oh, copycat, copycat, copycat," but from time to time, we do need to call it out. We do need to call it out. I can't tell you when to call it out, and no one should tell me when to call it out. But from time to time, it is necessary to remind people, um, because the whole goal of the copying is to try to, um, I guess you could say, water down the Meghan effect, to water down uh, Harry's effect. They're trying to water down their achievements by making it seem as though there's an equivalence between the Sussexes' work and what the Misfits are doing. And it just simply is not. It simply is not. When it comes to the differences between the individuals, those heretics are outclassed, outwitted, and outdone every single time. So is unfortunate, is irritating. There's nothing we could do about it, but it's going to be a factor because it seems to work for them. Let me see. Gene Alexander says, I'm a grandma and I've always been in Harry and Meghan's corner. So not all grandmas are against Harry and Meghan. I don't listen to tabloids. I've always been nasty. They've always been nasty and not telling the truth. Well, thank you, Gene Alexander. But yeah, of course, we don't mean all grandmas, but it is that Brexit, MAGA type of influence. And also, I don't say this enough, but I need to remind you guys that it is not limited to Harry and Meghan. There is a list of people that they call woke that they go after. I've seen some of their social media platforms, and there's a list that they have of people that they confront, or should I say, that they try to abuse on social media every day. I could just look at something on the news, and if I would bother to see that person's account, there's a few of them, I could almost without a doubt tell you that that was on the menu for the day. This person, that person, anybody they consider woke is on the menu. So, and those are the ones who made sure that we never had a woman president. Those are the very same ones, the ones that gatekeep. Lex says, don't they like the word whinge, moan, etc.? What do you call a press that continually harass, abuse non-taxpayer funded people that live in a different continent, on a different continent? They are whingers and moaners. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because every day they air this grievance against the Sussexes for things that do not concern them, that are outside of their sphere of influence. And yet, and that is a very good point, Legs. They are the ones that are whinging and moaning on a daily basis. They have financed their life complaining about Harry and Meghan. They have rebuilt their kitchen. They have purchased a new SUV. They're sending their kids to college using hate against the Sussexes. Very lucrative for them. Thank you, Lex. And let's see. RB, thank you so much for the super chat. Usually listen at night when in bed, but I'm here today. Keep up the good work, Baron. In other words, Dragon, Kate, and the rest of the Drab Monarchy. I'm definitely here for it. And the squad, happy holidays. Thank you, RB, and thank you so much for being here. Greatly, greatly appreciated. And I love to know what people are doing when they're listening to Royal Sussex, whether they're just like putting it down for the day, laying down and readying themselves for sleep, or just lounging about, washing dishes, or shopping. That is so cool. That is so cool. The most flattering thing. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. B. Martim. Baron, in my world, haters are going to hate, ballers are going to ball. Go, Harry and Meghan. That's right. Haters going to hate, and ballers are going to ball. I love that. Thank you so much for that. Okay, hold on, you guys. I'm going to take a sip of water. All right, very cool. Let's see. Oh, and B. Martin, thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex. So, my Willies got Diddy sausages. Does that sound weird? My Willies got Diddy sausages. what they're trying to say is William doesn't have Charles' hands, I think. King Charles III reveals his son hasn't inherited his unfeasibly large fingers as he first feared. Um, Unfeasibly large fingers. His whole hand is a catcher's mitt. Charles could stick out his hand and you could land a Sikorsky helicopter on the inside of Charles' hand. Charles' hand is so big that if there was a rain at a baseball field, he could literally just lay his hand out on the field and keep everything dry. I mean, it's huge. Charles could slap three people across the street without even, he wouldn't even have to go to the middle of the street. He could stand on one sidewalk or pavement and they could stand on the other, and he could just slap people clear across the face and they wouldn't know where it came from. That is how big his hands are. Just massive. I don't know if that is a health condition or what, poor circulation, or I think, of course, it is the, well, we I hate to say it, but we know that his parents were cousins. His parents were cousins. Um, they were cousins, so that maybe that's the reason. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If one were to speculate, maybe that maybe those cousins were from the shallow end of the gene pool. I don't know, but it could have been hemophilia. But instead, he's got the big hands. And of course, Charles was also famous for those massive ears. But some people, when they get older, they kind of grow into their look, and so his face, that big saggy jowl face, has caught up to his ears, and so now we don't really notice his ears. We don't make fun of them. You don't see cartoons that exploit the size of his ears because you almost don't see them. They have become like a little backdrop to that otherwise massive face, so you don't even notice the ears anymore, which doesn't say a lot for his face, but you don't even hardly notice his ears anymore. Connie Balmer! Hey, Connie Balmer. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Christmas Eve, Connie Balmer. Now, this is going to be weird because for some of us, let me see, East Coast, you got 55 minutes. And for Central Time, we have 2 hours and so on. So it's almost Christmas Eve, you guys. But yes, so that is it. Charles' face has caught up with his ears, or his ears have now his ears make sense for his face. Oh man. I'm also trying to understand that cherry lip gloss. Why has Charles, at his age, decided that it was necessary to start using cherry lip gloss? That just fascinates me. Cherry lip gloss. 74, 75-year-old man using cherry, or is it strawberry lip gloss? If you say so. We are what we are, and what we are is an illusion. Well, sometimes people start later in life. We are what we are, and what we are is an illusion. Oh, man. Okay. Lisi D says, Baron, I was interested in the royal. When I heard about Diana, I thank my 41-year-old son for allowing to watch the Charles and Diana wedding. I watched it in 1981. I watched it. I woke up that morning. I think it had already started. And somewhere around here, I have a VHS cassette with ABC's coverage of the wedding. And if I recall, I believe it was Peter Jennings and Barbara Walters that covered the wedding. And I still remember when the commentator said that Diana uh, put Charles' name in the wrong order. Do you take Charles Philip Arthur George Mountbatten-Windsor as your lawfully wedded husband? And she said, I do take Philip Charles Arthur George Mountbatten-Windsor as my love. And she just got the, so, are they really, or were they really married? I suppose so. But I still remember that. I still remember that they were nervous about her father walking down that very long aisle or nave or whatever you call it of the St. Paul's Cathedral. And the first time I went to London, I made sure that I went to St. Paul's because I wanted to see where the wedding took place. So that was my memory of it. And if it wasn't for Diana, um, at least 2 generations or 3 generations of people around the world would not have the least bit of interest in that toxic colonizing family. But for Diana's sake, Diana brought interest. She brought heart. She brought love to that family. And how did they pay her back in return? I hate to even say so, but that is the thanks she got. And likewise, Meghan has done the same thing. Because of Meghan, all of a sudden, they can't stop hugging people. They can't stop taking selfies. They can't stop dressing in very casual, quality, and somewhat expensive clothing. That has been because of Meghan. And the way that Meghan has inspired Harry to dress, now, of course, William is trying to do the same thing. And just like Meghan's style cues are off the chain. Kate is just something she wore. Harry, his style is off the chain, right? It is the top of the charts. But with William, it's just something he wore. They are a beautiful, handsome couple, and everything that they wear looks amazing on them. Everything. And the others, well, they try, but there's just never the excitement behind it. Never that excitement. And of course, the Sussexes are known to be very affectionate people. And now the family is racing toward that affection. Even Charles is getting in on it. They can't stop it. They want so desperately to try to capture that magic. And that's all because of Meghan. It wasn't popular when Diana was there, not for the family, only for Diana and, of course, Harry. Harry was always so in tune with people. And now, since Meghan has brought that energy of her own, they can't stop touching people. They're doing the most, the everything, but it's so disingenuous. It's so artificial. It's so fake, contrived, and always with a camera crew, which is incredible because they always complained, or should I say, they have often complained that the Sussexes are bringing their Netflix cameras, right? Isn't that what Angela Latrine says? Angela, Harry and Meghan, they're probably gonna bring the Netflix cameras, and they probably took their cameras to see the Queen, and there was a camera. They should have checked Archie's juice box because they probably had cameras in his juice box, in the baby pram. The diapers everywhere. There was cameras, the Netflix cameras. I know that, and they should have checked, right? Let her say it, and there was cameras everywhere. That is such as the paranoia and flat out lies of Angela Levin. Okay. So let me see here. Uh, Shelly L, thank you so much for the What did I just do? Oh Lord. Not yet. I almost ended the live. Oh my god, that was so scary. All right. Sorry about that. That button is too close to everything else. They really should do something about that. But Shelly L, thank you so much for the super chat. Shelly L says, "Don't forget they've managed to find every missing black person in the UK, so they could take a picture with them. Reach out and touch somebody black, and make sure all the cameras see that." Reach out and touch somebody black, and make sure all the cameras see that. Right on. Absolutely. You understand. They can't stop touching them, one after the other, especially like when the president of South Africa was there. Oh, by the way, let me take this old uh, dish rag off the screen. This old dried up knotted dish rag. Get that off the screen. Take a little time out your busy day to touch a Negro along the way. We can change things, you'll see. It looks so unnaturally. Reach out and touch somebody black, and make sure all the cameras see that. Why you get me started? You know I love that song. Okay. Legs says, doesn't it say a lot that the British royal family tried to destroy charismatic, strong, intelligent black woman, that is, that enter that family need to level up instead of hating? Absolutely. Instead of trying to, but you know what? They they want to be the sole entities individually, of course, that will take credit for it. Kate wants to take credit for it. Now Willie wants to take credit for it. Charles, and of course, Camilla, in her own twisted way, um, wants to try to take credit for it. Like when Camilla was trying to cry at that women's abuse shelter. Isn't that something? One of the biggest abusers in the history of the United Kingdom all of a sudden wants to sit there and try to sob in agony and pain over what other women are going through. She who has been the cause of so much trauma and pain to Princess Diana is trying to ugh, is trying to insert herself into the conversation as the savior, as the champion of women that have been abused everywhere. Ain't that something? The abuser wants to somehow pretend like she's trying to save people rather than the fact that she's actually an abuser herself. She and Charles were abusive to Princess Diana. No alleged, they were abusive. And of course, you have Camilla going to these different things, trying to be the warm, fuzzy person, when the truth is that is just a bunch of play acting. Like that poor woman that found herself. Remember that? Let me show you. Let me set it up for you. This woman goes to some event, and of course, she just happens to be a woman of color, and they just happen to sit her by Camilla. And you could read that woman's eyes. Her eyes say, when I get out of here, I'm going to take somebody out. I am going to do something to somebody. As soon as I get out of here, somebody is going to pay for this. Check it out.
For lunch club. Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming.
There you are. So you're the only Mountain here?
Yeah, I am.
Yes. Great family. So how long do you teach? So how long do you teach?
Now tell me that woman was not furious. I'm pretty sure that she didn't know that she was going to be set next to that fossil. I am so sure that she had no clue that she was going to be placed right next to the royal fossil, Camilla Parker Bowles. And yet there she is. And there she is with that big crap eating grin trying to suck it up. But I'm pretty sure she Did you see her eyes? Look at those eyes. Look, look, look. I love her. I love her. It is going to be hell to pay. It is going to be hell to pay when she get home. She going to cuss somebody out. And then Camilla all reaching all over her and all them jowls and stuff rubbing all up on her. Look at her. See how she turned away? You see how she turned away? Wait. One more time. Oh, I cannot get over that one. I can never get over that one. That one was hilarious. Legs says, side chick can't spare the moisture. Stiff upper lip. Thank you so much, Legs. Woo! Oh man, that poor woman. She had no idea that she was going to be used as a prop that day. Britain rejoiced. William officially doesn't have Dad Charles' ginormous sausage fingers. That's weird to have so much attention caused to his fingers like that, but oh well. Um, uh, let me see. Anyway, Leg says again, you don't look into the Ark of the Covenant. Not unless you want to turn into a pillar of salt. There are some things in this world that will literally turn you into a pillar of salt. You will become frozen. You will eventually collapse into a heap of dust by making direct eye contact. oh, oh, from the Jurassic period, such as Camilla. All right. Oh, let me get that off the screen. There we go. So, this was an article in the National some time ago. Image of his sausage fingers have spread far and wide, no pun intended, at one point being the 7th most searched term on Google in the UK. Again, they've talked about those hands. People have pondered and speculated about his hands so much that it was the 7th most searched on Google. Imagine how many people sat at their computers trying to figure out what's wrong with his hands. How many people have picked up their mobile and gone to Google trying to figure out what's up with them hands? And sometimes they look so large and cartoonish that you don't even want to believe that they're real. You think that is something you know Oh, and that ring. Oh, that ring makes me cringe. And during the coronation, Charles was supposed to put the rings on his finger. At least there was at least one ring of state or something like that he was supposed to put on his finger, but he didn't. Instead, he just touched the ring. He touched this, he touched that, instead of actually putting it on, as mentioned in the order of things. So they decided to change it because otherwise they would have had to saw the ring and then fuse more gold onto it. There was no way he was going to put it on. But then again, there's no way he can take that one off. Uh really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I thought that was something that happened like in the last 10 years or so, but oh well. And of course, to be fair, you guys, I did um, do something with this one. That is not his real hand, but the reason why I took license with this one is because I wanted you to see what other people would see. Just imagine when Charles goes to reach out and shake hands with you, this is what it looks like to the unsuspecting public. Members of the public that have never been that close to his hands, when he reaches out to shake hands, it actually looks like a weapon. It looks like a big piece of plywood or something. It doesn't really resemble a hand. It looks more like a massive rock formation. Could you imagine that? You go to shake hands with someone and it seems like somebody just handed you Stonehenge. Huh? Could you imagine you trying to shake hands and it looks like somebody just tried to hand you Stonehenge? Oh, there we go. B. Martin says, how they find a ring to fit his fingers, asking for a friend. Well, the ring actually, well, let me see. When they put that ring on, it had to have been early in the morning, right? He probably slept with his hand elevated all night, and then they put it on, and then of course, everything just kind of filled in around it. So, or it's actually a bracelet. Yeah, either they put it on at a certain hour or it's a bracelet. So instead, you should say, how did they find a bracelet to fit his finger? Y'all, that's so bad. We got to stop now. That's so bad. That really is bad. I'm going to I can't say anything else like that today. That's so bad. That's even beneath me. Now, I promise I did not do anything to this photo. I didn't do anything. You see what I mean? When you are greeting Charles and he reaches his hand out, that's what it looks like. And this photo that I did not alter, see what I mean? When he reaches out to put his hand on that chair, it's how do they say objects in the mirror are much smaller, are larger than they actually appear. Well, in this case, the hand is much bigger than you thought it was. So just weird. He's a weirdo. He's a weirdo. I mean, he's got those gigantic ears. He's got those childbearing hips. He has those catcher mitt hands. He's a real medical science curiosity. Medical science doesn't know what to make of him. He's an advanced species of something, but we just don't know what it is. Okay. Now, at this time of year, I often think about this. People seem to think that there was never any criticism of the Queen when she was alive, especially now that she has passed on. We almost forget how many times the Queen has been criticized or openly mocked. Like, for instance, right here, Queen Elizabeth goes viral for urging generosity and self sacrifice in front of an ornate gold piano. Look at that. How do you ask people to tighten up their belts? How do you ask people to do a little bit more for your neighbors when you're talking in front of a gold piano and blackamoor lamps? Did you notice the blackamoor? But you're in front of a gold piano. Now, you may not have noticed this, but take a look. The Sussexes are in that photo, that one that you've seen before. I think that was Charles' birthday. But you can see the Sussexes, you can see the Cambridges. Also, you can see what appears to be her father in military and naval uniform, maybe. And there is Philip and baby Charlie and the Queen. And a gold piano. That is a one of a kind gold piano. Whoever set up this probably was hiding the next day. Whoever put this together, you probably could not find them after this aired. But this was one of the famous Queen's speeches at Christmas. And there she is talking to the nation with blackamoor lamps, candelabras, lamps, and of course, a gold piano. That is severely out of touch. Severely out of touch. And people did not shy away. And look at there, even the chair is covered with gold leaf. Everything there, gold leafing. Queen Elizabeth goes viral for urging generosity and self sacrifice in front of an ornate gold piano. And that was back in December of 2018. Wow. Tone deaf, tone deaf. You know, and to be fair to the Queen, none of that stuff meant anything because, well, that's how she's lived. She's always lived like that ever since she was a child. This is how she lived. From the day she found out that she was going to be queen, this is how she lived in splendor. And so it's kind of like wallpaper. After a while, you don't notice it, right? Like anything else, you don't notice it. That thing that's on Aaron Neville's forehead, you don't notice it. Charles' ears, you just don't notice it. Gold piano, she didn't notice it. That was just the piano. So I could imagine that it really didn't mean anything. And so when they put this together, okay, I'll sit here. So that's that. Gold piano for Charles Sausage special piano. Oh, you think they got extra large piano keys for Charles? That's so bad. You all are just terrible. That's so bad. Now we got to stop. So no more shade today. William's secret booze bender slams vodka shots and beer every night. Shows up at events baldy hungover. Let me see. And tells worried Kate it's not a problem. So this, of course, is from the Globe magazine. This is an American tabloid. Now, the big difference here is that people in the United States don't look at the Globe or the Inquirer or the Star magazines as anything else but what what do you call it? Gosh, I just said it. Oh, not paparazzi, but garbage, a rag, slanderous. We don't look at it any other way. It is tabloid. It's fodder. It is tabloid fodder. We don't look at it any other way. But I'm afraid in the UK, this appears to be mainstream news. Big difference. Big difference. And it's surprising because you know what? I have to say, the UK gets so many things right. Seriously, they get so many things right. You can get a very good education in the United Kingdom, an excellent education. Now, of course, it seems to omit the transatlantic slave trade, but you can still get a fine education in the UK. Um, there's a lot of things the UK does well, but the one thing that is awful, terrible, and should be embarrassing is the tabloid media. And increasingly, just like any other country, there seems to be a lot of corruption where the police are concerned. All of these things really surprised me. When I was younger, I didn't really think about it because I didn't care. But as I got older and I understood what was at stake and who was being affected by it, now I cannot turn away from it. I cannot avoid the inconvenient truth, and that is the country that has been the model for democracy for so many countries around the world seems to lag behind when it comes to the media. The what is it? The fifth estate, the fourth estate, all of the great literature that comes out of the UK, you would think better, and yet you have the tabloids. Now, the US tabloids are just that. They are a supermarket checkout curiosity. There is never, uh, or should I say, I won't say never, but it is rare that the mainstream media quotes Globe magazine. It is rare that the mainstream media would quote the Inquirer. And by the way, for a long time, the National Enquirer, and it may still be the case, was the most widely read newspaper in the United States. Now, here's a moment of honesty. This is when integrity comes through. I used to read those magazines all the time. Not so much read them. Most of the stuff I didn't care about. But if there was a celebrity like, oh, Oprah's home, I want to see how Oprah lives, right? That kind of thing. I didn't want to notice the embarrassing or devastating details as much as I was just curious about how people were living, how they're enjoying their success. That was what I cared about. And so, unfortunately, along with all the garbage, and let's face it, Daily Mail, they will throw a story out there so fast that it's grammatically incorrect. There are spelling errors, all kind of stuff. But they jump on the photos so fast that you may not find those photos in most places, but you know the Daily Mail has it. And I don't mean photos of the Sussexes, I mean just anything. And that is a huge advantage for them, is that they don't mind taking a chance and just throwing those photos out there. And so if you're hungry for information, or if you're hungry for photos of some event, you know that the Daily Mail is likely to have it before anybody else. And so, as much as I cannot stand Lord Nappyhead, as much as I hate the Daily Mail's business model, I have to say, when it comes to the photos, they are usually the first off the block, and you just know it's going to be there. So that is something that I have to say they do very well. They do that very well. But otherwise, how many lives have been destroyed because of the Daily Mail, the Sun, and so many others? And that goes for the Inquirer. The Inquirer has done a lot of damage in this day. It has affected a presidential election that I know of. So the National Enquirer here in the United States, they did what they call catch and kill, where they paid for stories about Donald Trump, and then of course they to avoid violating the copyright of that story, the person who told the story was paid off, and they couldn't talk about that anymore. which is what happened to, the whatever her name is, Stormy Daniels, or whatever her name is. They took her story and they paid her for it. And then when the election came around, she couldn't talk about it. She had to literally break the law to talk about it. So, okay, so that's a little of what I feel about the tabloids and the press and such. But big disappointment because I am an Anglophile. I am. There's a lot of things about British culture that I just love. I adore. And you know how they say when you fall in love, that's when you start to notice some of the faults that that person has. Well, in this case, as much as I love the UK, I had to accept that there were certain flaws that came with that relationship. And so it doesn't cause me to like the UK any less or love the UK any less. But there's just certain things that I can't look past. And the press, um, just like racism, the model for the media landscape that comes from the British tabloids has had a devastating effect all over the world. So that is how I feel about that. But again, there's so much about the UK that I love. So I have to compartmentalize my feelings and just remember there's a lot of wonderful people that I met from the UK. I met a lot of wonderful people when I was there, so it is everybody comes with their own BS, whether you're in the UK, the US, wherever you are, everybody got their own BS. But I guess because of the influence of the UK on the American culture, without sounding too disappointed, I just expected better. I really did. I expected better. I thought maybe those were some of the things they got right, but I've had my eyes open for me. So anyway, thank you for letting me get that off my chest. I appreciate it. Coralita Simone, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being here this Christmas Eve. Well, it's almost Christmas Eve here in the U.S. East Coast, you got 21 minutes for Christmas Eve to start. And then 24 hours later, it will be Christmas Day. I'm just having such a great time this Christmas. I really am. And the Sussex Squad is a huge part of that. Let me see. Okay, I've been talking so much, I haven't really been looking at the chat. Did I miss anything? I'm looking. Okay, gonna move on. And by the way, what is up with that? I should know. I'm not going to say anything about it. Let me just leave Kate there. And but this time she really does look like, I won't say it. I'll just show you. She really does look like one of those, right? She really, really looks like that. Before it was just kind of like, but now she really does kind of look like that. That's it. That was all I was going to say. A little plasticky. Just a little plasticky. All right. Now, sorry to disturb the party. Kate surprises childcare workers and the kids stay inspired with a festive tea party for her together at Christmas Carol service. There goes that voice again. Kate Middleton decided to surprise the people by showing up and putting that face all up in their face. Otherwise, they were enjoying their Christmas. But then here comes Kate with her camera crew. Kate's camera crew. Isn't that what they accused the Sussexes of, right? And now you can't go anywhere and not run into Kate and her camera crew. Isn't that interesting? How hypocritical. And of course, this kid was having none of it. And notice in the corner down there, what does it say? Kensington Palace. One more time. Kensington Palace. That means that the people that recorded and or photographed this event were from Kensington Palace. Is that the new Netflix cameras? Huh? Is that what it is? How about you, Angela? Harry and Meghan. Oh, shut up. Anyway, um, yeah, it looks to me like Kate took her own camera crew, right? That is what they have so often accused the Sussexes of. So you couldn't understand how confused I was when I was like, wait a minute. Kate brought her own camera crew. And just think, this kid was enjoying his Christmas, and then all of a sudden, here comes Kate. And that kid is just like, oh, Lord. And as I look at that kid, I'm trying to figure out, where have I seen that look before? Have you guys seen that look before? Because I've seen it. Where have I seen that look before? Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming.
There you are. So you're nearly Mountain here?
Yeah, I am.
Yes. Great family. So how long do I teach? So how long do I teach?
That's where I've seen that look before. You see there? You're sitting there, you're enjoying yourself, and then all of a sudden they plop down one of those people right next to you. And just like that lady, that kid is just stuck. You can't run, you can't hide, you're just stuck. That kid didn't know that was going to happen. This was a surprise visit. And just like when they went to the baby bank, oh, surprise. Did you meet my camera crew? Yep, another setup. Love wins movement. Hey, love wins movement. The young man's face says it all. Yes, it does. Let me see. Yes, the focus really should be on the children, not photo ops, not PR stunts. Not PR stunts. Yes, another Black child, another child of African descent find themselves stuck in the middle of, stuck between a rock and a royal PR stunt. B. Martin, thank you for the super chat. What's with the jumper? Is it a contest for the ugly jumpers? I think that she's trying to channel Princess Diana, that famous red jumper that Diana had. I think that that's what she's trying to do. And yes, it is rather hideous. It is rather hideous. But that's not, but see, the whole point of it is, well, number one, Kate has really bad taste. Number two is that she is trying to seem wholesome and lovable. And just like when she had that one video, when she made that appeal for people to donate. And remember that one that got so many complaints while she was wearing a $350 jumper or 350-pound jumper? Well, who knows how much that one costs? It's probably something from the high street. Maybe. Sometimes she learns her lessons. Sometimes she doesn't. Lex says, who are their PR? Let me see. Anyone notice how they're forced this, what is that? Aesthetic mess without any action? The press in the U.S. would be all over this crap, but they are not held to account. No, they're not. They don't. They don't. They won't call them out. They won't call them out. That's the invisible contract. But sometimes, you know how they get around the invisible contract. Sometimes they will quote the Sussex Squad. Yep. Sometimes they will quote the Sussex Squad. That's their way around the invisible contract. And take a look there. Now, you see, you guys, sometimes they can get away with it. Like right here, you can see that these images are airbrushed, photoshopped. They probably put some Vaseline on the lens to soften the appearance. But I found some software. That will correct this. Would you like to see it? Okay. Now, right here, you can see how they doctored up these images to try to make her look as soft and delicate as possible. But I found a way to remove all of those, what do you call it? Adjustments, those photoshops and stuff. I found a way to remove it. And what lies beneath all of that is Creepella from the Gruesomes. Remember Fred Flintstone's neighbors? See what I mean? That is who's hiding behind all of that makeup and all of those. You see, back in the 60s, the Flintstones had some very spooky neighbors that moved next door called the Gruesomes. And if you ever wondered what happened to the Gruesomes, well, at some point they moved to the UK, and the heir of the Gruesome family is, of course, the Middletons. They changed their name to Middleton. Gruesome was too obvious. And of course, Carol Gruesome is now Carol Middleton. And well, anyway, you know what happened. So that's what happens when you take the filter off, though. The real Middleton jumps out. So good thing I figured it out, right? That's not too petty, is it? Now, I have a little sound bite that I'm going to play for you. Have a little sound bite. Let me set it up for you. Actually, I'm going to have to get the link for this because this is a much longer conversation. So I'm going to put the link on the community tab later. Let me set it up for you.
What's the point of no return for Harry and Meghan as it pertains to Harry's family?
Yeah, I think that point of no return was quite early on, actually. And I talk about this in the book, where when Harry realizes that the calls are coming from inside the house, when he realizes that it's the people on his brother's team who are responsible for some of the most negative and damaging stories about them entering the public domain. And so then you realize, well, no one has my back in this situation. It's almost like the only result of staying within that is to completely fall, to come out of it so bruised and battered that there's nothing left for you. And I think that was when they started to explore the possibilities of, like, do they move to Southern Africa and are they based out there for a while, or did they start a life in Canada and do this half in, half out scenario that they wanted to, that they ran by the Queen at one point. And ultimately this was because they didn't want to disrespect the Queen. So it was only when the institution said to them, like, you know what, like, it's either here or the highway, they took the highway. And unfortunately since then there has been no real, like, repair or movement in the right direction.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's called Gabbing with Gib. Gabbing with Gib. And I promise I will put the link for the podcast. I think it's on Spotify, I think. But I will find the link and I will share it with you later. Okay. But yeah, so that way you can hear the whole thing. So Omid Scobie is still doing interviews. He's still making the rounds. He has lost his voice, but yeah, he's still doing his thing. So stick in there, Omid. If you're watching, stick in there. Now, look at what I got today. I went and picked up my gift from J. Matt, and I didn't know if I could say the other name. So there is a mystery squatty that gifted me the super latte. See it all the way in the back, the golden super latte. So J. Matt mentioned this the other day, which is why I feel okay saying it to you now. You can see, don't mess with Texas. Also, there is a magnet from Cancun. Now, you can see it there. You can't really tell, but it has a beautiful, shiny, like acrylic layer on top of it. So when you hold it in your hand, it feels very substantial, but you can't really tell from the photo. And also, one of my favorite things, chocolate. So, and of course, the Don't Mess with Texas coffee cup. So what's cool about the coffee cup is just like with the other cups that I got, it's like every morning when I have my coffee, I can get the that good positive energy from the gift that I received from one of the squatties. So that'll be very cool. For part of my morning routine is to use my Don't Mess with Texas cup. So, and you know what else is cool too? The super latte came the same day that the gift from J. Matt came. So thank you, Mystery Squatty, for the golden super latte. And also thank you, J. Matt, for the Texas and Cancun souvenirs, as well as the chocolate. Very, very cool. What a nice surprise. Right. I love it. Thank you. Let's see. I'm getting really sick of the racially motivated attacks on Omid Scobie's appearance. Anyone who isn't pale and stale isn't apparently okay. Okay to mock and bully. They have really normalized that. There was a time, especially like after the civil rights era, where people would hesitate to be so confrontational and so overtly racist. But now it has been normalized, especially thanks to the right-wing press. It has been normalized. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's a terrible thing. I saw this today. While I was out running errands, take a look there. You can see that someone has an elf. Well, the movie Elf, you can see the elf has been slammed into the back of this minivan. And of course, I did have to make sure that I, changed the license plate so you couldn't identify this person. So I changed it to Christmas, but that wasn't the actual license plate. But of course, as an abundance of caution, I had to make sure that I didn't share the actual license plate. But how cool is that to find yourself riding down the street and all of a sudden you see this in front of you? Right? Okay. Yeah, and if you haven't noticed yet, what you have there is that when you use the rear wiper, gosh, it's hard to say that without sounding like Barbara Walters. When you use the rear wiper, whenever you use it, you actually when you use it, you actually can see the hand quaving. That's how Barbara Walters would say it. Whenever you use it, you can see the white hand quaving. And if you notice, the watch whack has slammed the wigs in the back of the watch whack. I'm just saying it like Barbara Walters would say it. When I was winding down the suite today, I happened to notice this Winnie van that had the wealth in the back. And the wealth actually has its legs squashed into the rear well gate. And whenever you turn on the rear wiper, whenever you turn on the rear wiper, the wealth actually quaves. When you see that, the wealth actually quaves. So, woo! Okay. I'm being too silly now. What if somebody is listening or watching Royal Sussex for the first time? I mean, what would they think? What would they think? What if right now is Christmas and you have some of your family over and you and your family are watching and all of a sudden you hear me talking like Baba Wawa? That would be rather awkward, right? That would be very awkward. It would be very awkward. So okay, let's continue then. Well, I just actually noticed today that the either that's Lady C or the Grinch. I'm still not convinced that I know one from the other. Can't tell them apart. But if that is the Grinch is on his way to ruin somebody's Christmas. Oh my goodness, I almost said that like Barbara Walters. It's kind of hard to stop. The Winch is on his way to ruin someone's Christmas. Yes, the Winch is on his way to ruin someone's Christmas. The Winch that swallows Christmas. I gotta stop. It's hard to stop. It is hard. Once you start talking like that, it is very difficult to turn it off. But at least I can try. Okay. Somebody is still reliving the Napoleonic War. Not war. See, I almost did it again. Someone is trying to relive the Napoleonic War, not the war, the war. Yeah, I got to stop doing that because then I trip over my words. But yeah, there's Princess Anne in her finest Napoleonic War couture. I don't know who's going to tell her. It won't be me. I don't have enough courage, but somebody's got to tell her. Let me see. Helene Groen says, he was here. We're all in bed with a... Oh, no! I'm so sorry to hear that. There is a flu that is going around. And by the way, Mo Shannon had the flu, something terrible. She's still trying to fight it. But Mo Shannon also was suffering from, and it's not the pandemic, but it is a flu. It is a seasonal flu, and it has been hell. So mask up, you guys. Put on your mask unless you want this flu that's going around. And trust me, you don't want it because they say it is difficult to shake it. Now, I have always been one of those people where the slightest little flu lingers for a month or more, if you are one of those people, you don't want to risk it. Or as Barbara Walters would say, you won't want to whisk it. You don't want to whisk it. So put your whisk back on, right? Put your whisk on. You probably already have a whisk, so just put your whisk back on. Okay? I gotta stop doing that. I'm so sorry. It's difficult. It's difficult. I have so much fun with that. But yeah, I hope you feel better, Welleen woman. I hope you feel much better. Better. Let's see. He's here. We're all in bed with a very bad flu. I'm so sorry to hear that. And let's see, very bad flu. Please stay healthy and drive safely the next few days. We need this squatty family in whack. Yes, we need this family in whack. Attack. Whack attack. Let me see. Helene says, yes, we're all down. I hope a family in some castle in north of England named Sandringham could have used something to get them cozy inside. Yeah. Some family. Let me see. Yeah, push those fluids. And I suggest Ricola. The lemon mint Ricola, I don't know what it is, but any of the Ricolas are good. If you're having the congestion and the symptoms and everything, the Ricola just seems to work magic. And everybody that I have let them try the Ricola, all of a sudden they are going to the grocery store or the pharmacy and they just rake a whole stack of them into their basket because they don't want to run out of it. So Margie says, Baron, sounds like you're cursing bad words. I know it does sound let me see. Barbara Walter, the Elmer Fudd of journalism. Absolutely. She was the Elmer Wood of journalism. Okay. Thank you, Yellow Rose Tea. Now, remember they were saying, look who already has a Leica camera. They were trying to convince people that Meghan somehow was trying to copy off of her dim-witted sister-in-law by insisting that she only mentioned the Leica because Kate already has one. Kate does not have a Leica. Kate has a Fuji film camera. That is a Fuji film camera. You can see right there, it says Fuji film, not Leica, right? Not Leica, Fuji film. And this idea that Kate is some great photographer, she's not even a great Photoshopper, let alone a great photographer. So, yeah, but that's what I mean. Anything to hate. They make up stuff. How many times do you hear me make up something about the royal family? I may say something sarcastic. I may make fun of them. But how many times do you hear me say, to be fair, or I cannot substantiate this? You know, I see something on the internet. I cannot find where it comes from, but someone has shared it, but I can't see the origins. So how many times have you heard me say, I cannot substantiate this? Or to be fair, I say it all the time. I don't make up stuff. But with this, because they heard Meghan mention the Leica camera, and in reference to Archie, of course, then they went on this big hate campaign of attacking every word analyzing and misrepresenting every word Meghan said, even calling her a liar. And then, if that wasn't enough, they started showing pictures of Kate with her camera. But one of the eagle-eyed squatties noticed that the camera says Fuji Films. Fujifilm, not Leica. Huh? You see what I mean? They would do anything. They would go to any length to lie about the Sussexes. There is never any ambiguity to it. There is never any doubt. There is never, I cannot substantiate this. They just say it is fact. But it was a lie. That's a Fuji camera. I'm sure it's a fine camera, but it was a lie just for the sake of disparaging Meghan's good name, to try to embarrass her, to declare her to be a liar. Whether or not it's true, it doesn't matter. Long as they can put that toxin out there, they can insert that negativity and associate Meghan's name to it, the truth does not matter. Again, I have often said I wasn't in the room, I wasn't there, I cannot substantiate this. I don't lie on the royals. I don't make up stuff about the royals. If I have an opinion, that's all it is. But most of the derangers and even several people in the media will just make up stuff. And some are worse than others. They will just make up stuff. A lot of it goes back to a complete obsession with a woman of color. And there are signs. Every time they speak, you can see the scrunched brow, the pursed lips, the tight jaw, the crazy eyes. That means they're about to lie about something because they're obsessed with Meghan. And I do think the roots of it goes back to racism, because the idea that there is a woman of color, a woman with African DNA that is exceptional, whereas they are just mediocre, that seems to be the start of the problem. That's where the problem starts, is that a woman who happens to have been born with an African-American mother and a Yeti father, that's just happened to be where Meghan comes from. But it's that African part that they cannot accept her being exceptional in any way. They cannot accept that. She's just not one of us. It's just not done. You don't know us well enough to talk about hormones. Naomi Maria says, Baron, do you think their royal cosplaying is sticking it up to the poor nations that they won all those colonial wars and robbed nations? I wouldn't go that far. I think it's just the cosplay is just it is to assert their authority over the realm, over the subjects. Being on a horse, it already puts you at a higher level than most people around you, right? And being on a horse and in uniform, they are gaslighting people into believing that there is a military component to every member of the family. Even Kate is now a military person. They want us to believe, they want the subjects of the realm to believe that they all have some type of military service, real or imagined. There is something that is so close about them in the military. I think that is gross. Could you imagine could you imagine? And of course, there's a huge difference between a president and a sovereign. But could you imagine if the president of the United States would allow their child to have a role in the military, even if it's symbolic? That would be so that would be so unorthodox to do something like that. But yet it's a matter of routine for the royal family. Now, yes, there is historic references. I won't deny that. Again, this is me being fair. It's always been that way. So I can't say that it's wrong, but it looks very strange. But I'm not going to say it's wrong because that is part of the deal. You have a sovereign, the family dresses up like Napoleon. Who hasn't done that? Well, most of the people in the world. But but that's just the deal. That's part of it. Let's see. Beverly McCaskill says, if there are any Brits here, why can't your people learn how to think, look up something for themselves, stop listening to the clowns? Well, Beverly, we have to remember, and again, I'm going to be very fair, that the majority of people do not feel the same way as that very narrow slice of humanity that we encounter because of social media. I refuse to believe that most British people see things the way that Angela Levin see it. I just don't believe that. I can't believe it. I think most people, there's a silent majority of people that are not speaking out, not acting out. It is culturally not a thing. If they were French, they would storm the Bastille, but it's the UK. They do things a little more subtly, and so things unfold the way it unfolds. So I don't begrudge that part of the culture. That is part of the culture. So, some things that we loathe for one reason, we may come to depend on it for others. Although it may not be clear at this time, but we may actually value that very stiff upper lip, never explain, never complain. We may value that someday, not where the royal family is concerned, but I mean, just, for most people. But everything has a time and a place. Everything has a time and a place. As the Bible says, for every time there's a season, right? So there's always a season for certain things. But I hesitate to say that anybody is doing something wrong, but I will speak out about what I don't like or don't approve of, and even what I don't understand. But I wish more people would take notice of the snow job that's going on here with the royal family, because they have managed to leverage more money from the taxpayers in the ever since let's see, which prime minister that said that they don't have to negotiate for funding for the royal family anymore. They will just automatically get a raise. It wasn't Gordon Brown. It was, oh my goodness, what's his name? The one that was before, oh, let me see. Oh, I forget which prime minister it was, but the royal family has gotten more power and more money, and it has happened under the watchful eye of the tabloid media. And that is true. That is so true. No, it wasn't Churchill. It was someone more modern. Let me see. There was, oh gosh, the one who started the Brexit, the one who said that we're going to have a vote for Brexit, and then he stepped down. I forget his name, but not Tony Blair. Nope. It was the one who said that we're going to have Brexit, and then the woman prime minister, she's the one who actually carried out the vote or oversaw a referendum. But anyway, yeah. So he actually Nope, it wasn't Gordon. It wasn't Gordon Brown. David Cameron. Thank you, David Cameron. Thank you, Helene, as well. Thank you, Terry H. David Cameron. David Cameron, I believe he was the one who said that the royals don't have to come hat in hand and beg for money anymore. You will automatically get a cost of royal raise. Yeah, they have gotten so much more in the past few years than they have for a long time. They may have given up the Britannia, but financially, they have never had it so good. They have never had it so good. And while there's people suffering, people can't see a doctor, there's a shortage of things. More people are using baby banks and food banks and can't afford to heat their homes. The royals have gotten a huge raise. So I'm not going to speak against a system that does not affect me and I don't understand. I'm not going to say that it's wrong, that's the way it is. I'm just going to say I don't like it. I don't like it. I can't say it's wrong because it doesn't directly affect me. But for those that are affected by it, it is definitely worth speaking out about it. It is definitely worth considering on election day because they are getting away with a lot. They're getting away with a lot at the expense of the taxpayers. Yeah. So, I mean, right is right, wrong is wrong. So, as I say, I hesitate, but the truth is still the truth. But yeah, there's a lot of people that just aren't aware of how much they lost. You know, just like with in the US, our salaries had been frozen for years. Our salaries had been frozen for years. For over 20 years, most working class people in America, their salaries were stuck in the 1990s. And it was very subtle the way it happened. And I'm going to tell you why it was so easy to do that. Because when Bill Clinton was president, when Bill Clinton had the budget surplus, right? So many jobs left the US and the price of goods were artificially low. Artificially low. What we pay for certain things in the US is far less than what a lot of people in the world would pay, including fuel, gasoline. We pay less for our petrol. When those prices are sky high, it's hard to believe it, but we still pay about half of what the UK is paying. Americans are so blessed. Even though the prices have gone up, the fact that you can go and buy a pair of denim jeans for $10, a fraction of what a lot of people in the world would pay, that is something that a lot of people would love to have. And we don't appreciate it enough, but we are flooded with cheap goods and products in the retail spaces, more so than a lot of countries. And it is a blessing. But for us to have it so good, other people have to suffer. And that's why there's so much mass migration all over the Western world. That's why there's so much mass migration, because our governments are keeping us very well stocked, even though it doesn't seem like it, but they're keeping us, very comfortable and stripping resources from other countries. So anyway, I'm not going to get too deep into that because that is a very long story, but it affects all of us. Thank you, Beverly McCaskill. Yeah, that is the start, is to stop poisoning people's minds with the tabloid media. Ballas World, thank you also. Naomi Maria says, Baron, exactly the fact that they didn't want Harry breeding, for lack of a better word, with African biracial American how would that look for the family blatantly racist? Was blatantly yeah, yeah, and the aristocrats, they see everything, and that's, you make a good point, Naomi, because aristocrats have this equivalency in life. They look at everything like a thoroughbred racehorse, like a hybrid canine, and so on. They look at everything like that. They look at everybody like that. They think if you have someone from a certain bloodline, that they are going to be superior from everybody else. Well, I am here to tell you, nothing can be further from the truth. Just because they come from that blue blood, just because they come from that blue blood doesn't mean that you won't have big ears, a saggy face, childbearing hips, and catcher mitts for hands. There's no guarantees in this life. Just look at Charles. Just look at Charles. There's no guarantees in this life. Be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. Oh man, I couldn't resist. So let me see. Oh, and I'm almost done, you guys. Just got 2 slides left. There's this one. I promised you that I would share a couple of photos of Meghan that I had never seen before today. And this is one of them. Love, love, love the messy bun. And then, of course, as Meghan has self-identified her look back in the day with the very curly hair, she said that she was trying to look like that actress, I forget her name. And instead, when that humidity hit her hair, she said she started looking like Krusty the Clown. Oh, man. But she looks adorable there. Absolutely adorable. And who knew that that freckled-faced kid was going to grow up and be the most famous royal in the world? Who knew that was going to happen? The most influential royal in the world. Who knew that was going to happen? Not me. And so with that, you guys, I am done. I cannot believe it's been 2 hours and 24 minutes. I did not mean to stay on here this long. Anyway, you guys, love you. Hope you are having a fantastic holiday, and happy New Year's Eve. I'm sorry, Christmas Eve, that is, to you guys on the East Coast, and soon you guys across the US and Canada. It is going to be New Year's Eve. Why do I keep saying New Year's? Christmas Eve. It's going to be Christmas Eve. So all the best to you. Thank you so much. And thank you for your very generous and thoughtful super chats and super stickers. And of course, the very wise words and questions that came with it. Thank you, Shelly L, Lady T, Sherry Melicon, and Lydia Washington, Lisa D, Katie V, Ernie Cool, and Legs, RB, B. Martim, Shelly L again, and of course, Legs, B. Martim, Carolita Simone, and B. Martim. I hope I didn't miss anybody, but thank you all very much. And thank you, as always, for supporting Royal Sussex. Also, big congratulations to Sherry and Sade for 20,000 subscribers. Almost missed that. Sherry and Sade, 20,000 subscribers. So big congratulations for that. That's the hard work, because Sherry and Sade has put in a lot of hard work to make that channel what it is today. So just goes to show that it is being consistent. That is very important. And also, the Sussex squad is not necessarily an easy crowd. And there's a lot of people that will start a channel and not really, not really have the Sussex's first mentality. But for those that do, their channels are usually very successful, as evident by Sharian getting 20,000 subscribers. So big congratulations. All right. So with that, you guys, we are done. Let me see here. Hey, Susie Q. Oh no, let's see. Bye all. Miss you. Don't want to go and chat with my fam now. Well, thank you so much for being here, official Lauren Brown. Cookies and cream. All right. Everyone have a fun, joyous, blessed Christmas and a prosperous new year. Why don't we let that be the last word of the day then? Thank you for that. April May says, thank you, and thank you. Oh, and also, you guys, please keep an eye on your children or grandchildren. I don't think it's appropriate for young people to sing Santa Baby. I don't ever think that's appropriate. When you're a certain age, like imagine our young Meghan right there. Could you imagine her singing Santa Baby? No, don't let your kids sing that song. I think it's just as corruptive as any gangster rap. It sends the wrong message. It is pregnant with possibilities of double entendres. So, no Santa Baby for the children. Lisette Zog, thank you so much for the super chat. Lisette says, Merry Christmas and thanks for always making me laugh. I am so glad to hear that because it is very important that we laugh. We all should be laughing every day. I think it's good for the body chemistry. And I am so glad to help whenever I can. So thank you so much for that. And again, thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Okay. Oh yeah, those people. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. As I like to say, my family is all over me like a cheap suit. Threadbare, faded, cheap suit. All over me. Yep, it's hard to pry them away. I mean, once they get their hooks in you, they got you. So, and if you don't believe me, anybody feel free to come and spend time with my family. They are going to claw at your very being. And by the time it's all over with, you'll be like a polar bear on the ice, trying to search for food. That's my family. You gotta love them, though, right? Okay, if my mother had heard us singing that song, we would have gotten popped in the mouth. Yeah, Santa Baby, that's loaded with double entendres. I don't think it's meant for kids. I remember they had this jazz music class in Harlem, and they were singing, those little kids, they were singing, straighten up and fly right, straighten up and fly right, straighten up and fly right, cool down, pop, you're gonna blow your top. And I was like, that's kind of cute, but weird for kids to be singing that. But it was adorable. It was adorable. I'm just being a prude. I mean, if you want your kids singing Santa Baby, I mean, I remember when we were kids and we were singing, "You can ring my bell anytime, anywhere. Ring it, ring it, ring it. Oh, you can ring my bell." I mean, we were all singing it. You couldn't tell us anything was wrong with it. And then as I got older, I realized, wait, there wasn't a bell. That was, oh, you know what I'm saying? I realized that there was a huge metaphor. So that's why I'm saying, just imagine all of us little kids singing Ring My Bell. We didn't know any better. At least I didn't. I was a very impressionable young man, and I had no idea that we were talking about something else. So that's why I'm saying, there's not many things that can go wrong at Christmas, but Santa Baby, that could be a problem. So, just saying. Okay, and with that rather bizarre cautionary tale, I'm gonna go. Love you guys endlessly. It has been a pleasure. And as I often say, thank you so much for trusting me to do this work. That means so much to me. If I didn't have the confidence and the trust of the Sussex squad, there's no way I could do this. I would talk about something else. But having that trust, that makes a world of a difference. So if like sometimes people say, well, why don't you start another channel? But I'm like, I don't really feel the passion for that other stuff. I don't want to sit up and talk about celebrities and gossip about that stuff. I mean, if I did another channel, it would probably be something historical or, but it wouldn't be that kind of thing. I mean, dragging the royal family already makes me want to go and take a bath when I talk about them. Ugh, I got to wash them off of myself. But yeah, it's not for me. Well, thank you, Connie Bomber, for being so supportive to all of the content creators. And really, that sounds kind of generic, but truly, a lot of you guys go from one content creator to the other, and thank you for that, for keeping us motivated and supporting these platforms, and also thank you guys that have donated to a lot of the causes that the Sussexes support. I really, really, sometimes I'm almost brought to tears when I see how the Sussex squad flood their support into things like Kaboom or Scotty's Little Soldiers or whatever it is. You guys really step up, and that is awesome. So, okay, with that, I'm going to go. And as per usual, we think about our queens all the time, because who knew that they were going to make such a difference in this world? But because of their kids and because of them, because of their contribution, and then with their kids, they have and are doing awesome things. So very, very cool. And I guess we will go for the Ginger Avenger tonight, and I will see you all tomorrow. And I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, I think Kate is wearing a wig. And to all, a good night. I just couldn't leave without one last drag in there. You know that? I couldn't leave without just that last sarcastic comment. Okay, now I'm good to go. Uh-oh, that's weird.